So we truly hope that you have learned a lot from the first part where we were talking about child development at every stage, what happens, how the children get to express themselves, and what is expected of you as a parent. So this is the second part where we want to do two things, that is birth order and characteristics of your child or your children. And being a continuation, please first look at the first part that we did so that then you can be able to pick it up as you get to engage with this second part of our discussion. So, birth order.
Okay, thank you. Let me just say, as I said earlier, there is the pie and the piper. Let me remind them. Always, as a parent, remember, there is the pie and the piper. There are so many influences out there. And a disciplined life, the life of a child that is disciplined at the end of the day, it is a disciplined professional. That child will be so disciplined, even when they are working out there, wherever they are. Just as we said, Miles Monroe said, that it is a relay at the end of the day. And we've got to pass on the baton, passing on the baton the right way. Deuteronomy chapter 6, it says that we've got to teach our children diligently. And over and above verse 3 and 4 says, parents, don't just tell children to go to Sunday school. It is your responsibility first. You love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and your strength. So that, in turn, as you pass on the baton, you're passing on the baton what is already in you. You're not just telling them things which are not in you. You must be ministered unto before you minister to others. Just like our preachers out there. The message first ministers to them before they dispense it to the people. It is the same thing in parenting. You've got, first of all, to consume that message of parenting. And let me say this. In the book of Exodus chapter 31, as I am going to birth order and the temperaments of our children, in Exodus chapter 31, because there's no perfect parent. Even as I am talking, none is perfect.
Thank you.
Even our bishops are not perfect. None of us are perfect. None. If they sit down and tell you stories, you will know. Our elders, our pastors, our whoever's, none. There's no perfect parenting. Parents, hear me and hear me well. The bishops out there, the reverends out there, the pastors out there, they are not perfect parents. We are all a work in progress.
Amen.
And Genesis, the book of Exodus, chapter 31, there's a story of Bezalel and Oholiab. God told Moses, behold, I have put my spirit upon Bezalel, that he may be able to do the work of craftsmanship and all that, because he was to rebuild the temple. The story is there. We can read it in Exodus chapter 31. And the Bible records the Lord told Moses, I have filled Moses with 4 things: wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and skills, that he may be able to rebuild the temple, to build the temple, not to rebuild, but build the temple. When he said that, I can imagine what was in the mind of Bezalel. He said, I have given you also Oholiab, and I have filled him also with the 4: wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and all manner of skills. And I pray, parents, that will be your prayer. As you are building this temple, because we are the temples of the Holy Spirit, as you are building these temples of these children, as we are mentoring them, as we are teaching them, remember the word, diligently. There's 4 things must be there. That is knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and all manner of skills. Don't forget that. Let that be a prayer. Lord, fill me as I am parenting these children. I am a baby boomer. I am a generation X. I am a what? I'm a millennial. as I am parenting these children, this is the alpha. And behold, this year I have gotten a better. Lord, may you give me these 4 things. The knowledge, the understanding and wisdom and the skills. So now next, we want to do about the birth order. We have mommy, you have a firstborn. You have a secondborn, a thirdborn. Can I tell you, our counselor in the village had 18 children. He doesn't know who to call. 18.
Class.
A whole class. I'm telling you, that's a whole class. Actually, there were so many that you don't know who is who. In school, we didn't know who ni nani na nani, except wale wadogo sasa. But the older ones, for truth, I cannot find them even on the streets and know them. But I know there were 18. In school, there were so many. Now, birth order. It is important to know who is your firstborn. And let me tell you, the attack of the enemy is there on the children who are firstborns. Because this is the first fruits. And that is why we say it is important we dedicate all of them. But if you don't, there are certain things, even if you don't do to other children, don't forget certain things in the life of a firstborn. Dedicating them every other time because there's so much attack. If you look out there, statistics show sometimes they can be so much messed up and yet they're firstborns. So we say that firstborns, they are the mother hens. Somehow they protect the others, the other children, the other siblings, all right? Because they are the firstborns. So there's so much responsibilities. And sometimes mothers end up making they're the small mummies.
Yes.
And forget they are not the mother to these children.
You know I'm the firstborn.
You give them so much responsibility, such that even when they are going to school, you say, because you were ulimaliza shule. So at the end of the day, don't remind me, my sister somehow paid my fees in college. You know, parents forget.
Yes.
And I say this with all due respect. They forget that you have a life. And you're the one to educate your younger children. And it is okay. It is good, but parents should not. Okay, fine. They are the mother hens. They behave like the mother hens. But it is important, parents, to jipange vizuri.
Yeah.
Just the way you educated the first one. You are able, it is your responsibility. Educate even the last born. All right? So the firstborn, sometimes they feel there's so much pressure. All right? Then, within no time, but as they are much later, okay? But when they are young, after 2-3 years, a second-born appears. And the firstborn throws tantrums, like what I told you, that girl. She feels like, everything was me. And now you're telling me I have a baby brother. Me, I didn't want a baby brother. They feel like they have been dethroned. And sometimes they withdraw. However much they are the firstborns. Like recently, there was a case. And I'm sorry to say this. Especially with mothers, we are notorious, especially from a certain tribe, where we name our children, this is my father, this is my mother, this is my mother-in-law, and sometimes there was an issue with mother-in-law. Please, these are your children, and this is not your mother-in-law, this is not your sister-in-law. Hear me and hear me well. Okay? This is not your mother-in-law. This is not your sister-in-law. This is your daughter. And this is not your father-in-law who had refused you to be married to the son. Anakuambia na huyu, hapana sitaki, huyu ni mrefu sana. Ama huyu ni mfupi sana. Or she just, hakai kukua na tabia nzuri. Who said? So this is not your father-in-law. This is not your mother-in-law. This is your child. This is your child.
Yeah.
This is your daughter. This is your son, not your brother-in-law. Yule alikutesa ulipoingia kwa hiyo boma. Anaona ni kama unaenda kulima kwa shamba yake. This is not your brother-in-law. Yeye anashina akipiga kelele kwa mashamba, especially those who live in the village. And you're hearing me. Or even you have a village, you have a shamba in the village when you go from the city or from wherever you're listening. When you go back home into the county and you're wondering, alikuja akapanda mahindi kwako. Mpende. May God help you. May God remember you, and may grace abound. At the end of the day, then we have now the middle child. The middle child, let me tell you, we said they are sandwiched because you're expecting a last born. Because not necessarily, she can be the last born at the end of the day. But allow me, in this case, when I'm doing the birth order, for me to do 3 children.
Yes.
We have done the first one, who is the mother hen, where other children don't know ni kuna baridi. Unaulizangwa, ulivalisha mtoto sweater. So everything is on the firstborn. Watoto wamekula, the firstborn. Everything is on the firstborn. Now, the secondborn has come. And they're somewhere in between. They are usually sandwiched. And let me tell you, before the mother realizes this is the lastborn, the lastborn is born. Now the third child. And the middle child is sandwiched. Do you know we have forgotten?
Are you saying we
Because I'm a middle child. We are forgotten. Yes, we are forgotten. The middle children are forgotten because we are sandwiched. We are in the middle. So everything happens. So the firstborn, of course, the focus is here, taking care of the young ones. Then the lastborns, we say, they never grow up. Lastborns. Because they don't know. It is cold and it is time to put on the sweater. The firstborn is beaten. Because hakupatia mtoto sweater.
Na pengine alikataa.
Na nikukataa alikataa.
Yes.
They are saying that because you are the firstborn.
Nimekiona.
So the middle children are peacemakers. We say they are peacemakers. Because there is fight up there. And there is fight down here. So we are left in the middle. And we try to be peacemakers either way. Because we don't want to cause trouble with the lastborn. We love them. We end up babying them because we are the next ones there. Although we feel we were dethroned to be the lastborns, at the end of the day, because I'm a victim, at the end of the day, okay, psychology says they are peacemakers. Here being here, because we are sandwiched. We are neither here, we are neither down here. Then the lastborns, I had said earlier, they are life of a party. They have everything they want. Baby, akitaka chips leo, zitanunuliwa.
Kababa.
Akitaka kababa, kamami. Mami, wanaitangwa mami. Mami. You know, as if ni si mama yako, mtoto wako. At the end of the day, they see kababa. Kababa can eat. You know, there was a girl at home. She grew up and everybody thought baby was her name.
Ama kamam.
Huyu alikuwa anaitwa baby. Wengine waitangwa kamam. Ama kaboi. Actually, I have a Sunday school student. The other day, I even reminded him. Because the mom called him boy. Boy. For boy. Boy kuja. Boy, everything boy. So even when he went to Sunday school, he called him boy. Because me, I thought that was his name. You know, there's a particular tribe that has B-O-I. Isn't it? Yes. So me, I thought it is boy. B-O-I. All right? But at the end of the day, I knew she's there from Kangundo. Where did this boy come from? Kumbe, it is boy. And it didn't work well for him as he grew up. Everybody calling boy. I mean, the high school boy. I mean, ameoa. Bado tunamwitanga boy, and he gets annoyed. Actually, he's a married guy and working outside the country.
But who set the pace?
The mom.
The parents.
The parents.
Yes.
So babies. We say they never grow up. And it is important that we show them there's a life. And not everything. And that is why sometimes lastborns can be either careless, because they never grow up, and everything is done for them, because after all, they're babies. We need to let our children mature. So for the firstborns, please, let's show them, yes, you be responsible, but once we get the secondborn, the one in the middle, let's not forget who is up here. Let's not forget them. They get overwhelmed. The middle children, let's not forget them. They are our children. The lastborns, let's teach them to be responsible also. I want to give a classic example of Miriam, Aaron, and Moses. Miriam was the firstborn, such that when baby Moses was born, all right? She was the one to take care. Why not Aaron? In Exodus chapter 7, we say that it's written, not we say, it's written that at the time he was given the responsibility to go and rescue the children of Israel from Egypt, the Bible records that he was 80 years, while Aaron was 82 years. That means Aaron couldn't take care of Moses. He was only 2 years by the time he's been taken to the river. All right? Then Miriam, records show that she was around 8 years. You remember when we were doing the age characteristics? She was around 8 years. So she was able to go, to be sent by mommy, go to the river and do ABCD. When you see someone, please tell them there is somebody who can take care of our baby. And of course, and hush. Usimwambie jina, and I guess he had a name, isn't it? But we say that he was called Moses because he was drawn from the reeds, isn't it? Because of the river, isn't it? But she was that girl. She kept the secret, and she said there's someone, and she ran and called the mother. But as the story continues, remember at the end of the day, by the time they are crossing the river, now the assignment, wametoka kwa river, and the assignment has been given, chapter 7 and chapter 8, and the story continues. And by the time they are crossing the river, who supports who? Moses well. It was Miriam. Miriam, with her tambourine, singing and dancing. But first things first, even when they were going to rescue the children, Moses said what? Wacha nikwambie God, I have a big brother. I have a big brother called Aaron. He will be my spokesman. So he's remembering, I have Miriam, but sio yeye atanipeleka. Everybody, my point is, everybody has a role. At the beginning, he's saying, I have this big brother. I know the role of Miriam, such that by the time they are crossing the Red Sea, Miriam is there with the girls and they are dancing. But let me tell you, even as they are celebrating Moses, at the end of the day, walifika pahali wakaulizana, kwani wewe tu ndio unasikianga God? And our siblings can turn against us at times, but we need to support them. We need to pray for them when our brothers are not good to us. And we need to teach our children that. That is where I'm getting to. As our children are growing up, you can imagine at that particular, the mother was called Jochebed. And the Bible does not tell us the name of the father. But both of them, the Bible records in Exodus chapter 1, both of them were Levites. But as they were growing up, they were that family, isn't it? Awesome. That even when God is speaking to Moses, Aaron was not there with the burning bush, isn't it? Yeah. But he's saying, I have a big brother who can be, mpaka God akamwambia ni sawa. But you know, even later on, he never became the spokesman. But there were other roles much later. My point is, as they were growing up, they were that great family, being together. And I pray that we shall teach our children to love each other, just like Jochebed taught her children, together with the husband, because both of them were Levites. They taught their children on how to love each other and to support each other. It doesn't matter who is called. It wasn't Aaron who was called. Yeah. It wasn't Miriam. It was baby. Baby is the one who was called Moses, who was given the responsibility to bring other children and take them up to where? Even if he never went up to Canaan, up to wherever, even to pass on the baton to Joshua. It was not Aaron, and it was not. So when our brothers and our sisters prosper, let's support them. If they are promoted, if they are becoming, when they are young, and they are becoming number one, okay, fine.
Nataka nikusimamishe hapo kwa sababu huyu na huyu hawaongei na yule. Siku hizi ni kumoto.
Ni moto.
Sana.
We need to teach our children how to love each other.
Yes.
There's a certain writer called Margaret, whatever, I can't remember the second name. She says, let it be that one of these days, our children will look back and look at their baby sister, baby brother, and say, wow, it was good that we grew up together. And let me tell you, let me give you a secret. In our home, I am a case study. In our home, not that we didn't have the sibling rivalry at one point, but one point I said I was going to make I was going to change things. I was going to, when I knew this, I purposed. to turn around. And we purpose to have what we call bring and share. We go somewhere, ulete mukimo, ulete nini, lakini still tunapika kwako. Still hatutaweka kwa gari, taina kimwagika kwa gari, si ndio? We purpose. You've got to be deliberate. Yeah. So that, but you've got to teach them when they are young. My mom would always talk about it. My late mom, God help her. Things happened during COVID. She would always teach us on how to love each other. And it's not that it happened in one day. It had to be deliberate. Yeah. There must be effort. We must be intentional to teach our children. I said Miriam got to a point when they asked Moses, kwani where God ndio tu anakuongelea? When it's only God who speaks to you. And what happened? They got leprosy. And Moses had to intervene there, had to pray for them with Aaron and said, no, don't punish them. Let it not happen. So let's love. We've got to teach our children when they are young to support each other. Yeah. And as they grow up, because not every child will go to Kenya High. I once told my mom, my sister went to Form 1 to Form 6. She went to Alliance Girls. And she would put pressure. Nikamwambia hatutatoshea Alliance Girls. Mom hatutoshei. And we settled on that. Allow me to go. Even if mine is not in the Google map, the one I will go. Allow me to go to that school. In fact, I told her, even if it is not so known, I will go to that one. Let her go to Alliance. The other one goes to the other one. And that's my prayer for you parents. Don't put pressure. Because there are strengths that I have, my sister may not have. There are things that I can do that my sister, she could be bright, but we appreciate that. Her being a medic, we appreciate that. And she's our point of reference. You know, anything on medical issues, we ask a question. And I'm doing this. And even if she hears it, it's okay. And I'll tell her to listen. We support her in that. The other one, we support her in whatever. Every one of them. But let's not put pressure in our children because this one was number 2. This one is becoming number 30. Even if they are the number 30, there are things that she can do or he can do that this other one cannot do. She can thrive in business. I know of a guy in the village. He refused school in class 4, and ours are not refusing school. Yeah. But let me tell you, there were issues around the family. Today, he's a rich man in Thika town. Wow. Yes. He is a rich man in most businesses. Any M-Pesa you see, anything, I don't know what you see, it belongs to so and so. And yet he didn't finish school. My point is, one child, we've got to support, we've got to teach our children on how to support each other. Yes, yes. Now, I don't know whether you have a question. Back to you, Liz. I do the temperaments.
I think mine is, you spoke to me as a firstborn because tumefinyiliwa. My firstborns, tumefinyiliwa. But I also hope that we are also learning that we do not repeat the same mistakes, because part of why we want to learn is the mistakes that were done don't need to be repeated. We need to be at the place where they need to stop. And it stops with us acquiring this information, this knowledge, and then executing it and implementing it at the family level. I actually love the story of Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. A family that was raised, a mother who raised leaders. Yes. All of them were leaders in their own capacities and strengths. And I think she's a lady who needs to be studied. Jochebed needs to be studied very well. The mother that is mentioned that raised these amazing children. That is to say, much of the work done on a child has to come from the mother. Much. I'm not saying the fathers are not involved. Much has to come from the mothers. Are we ready for the assignment? The next is on their, is it their character?
No.
Is on the
temperaments.
Temperaments, yes. Okay. Now we can get to hear that as you have a few minutes.
You mentioned Moses, and I remember that when Mama had this basket, she made sure that there was tar. And the reeds were woven, they were made so well that at the river, maji haitaingia. And that is the role of a mother. Remember the pipers out there. the pie of the pie and the pipers. Yeah? The flute, when it's blown, there's water down there. There are so many influences out there. There are kuna chura huku chini. Haitaruka. The basket was woven so well. And that's a lesson there. What Jochebed? Being a Levite, there's so much that she needs together. Even putting the tar inside. I think one of these days in Tulizo, we need to, or any other out there, ladies meeting out there, we study the story of Jochebed, as you say, and we discover what happened in this basket, and what can we learn about the basket. Now, with this basket, we are talking about the temperaments.
Yes.
We've seen child development. We've talked about the birth order, but we cannot forget the temperaments. This firstborn has a temperament. This girl or boy who is sandwiched here has a temperament, even as they are growing. This lastborn, who thinks everything chips. Sausage. Mommy, I want that toy. Mommy, I want this. Mommy, I want to do this. I want a phone. Lastborns. They have temperaments. I want to talk about the first one, the sapphire. These are the sanguines who are so loud, the sapphire. The sapphires, and as the children grow up, let me first of all, there's something I've forgotten there. The writer, I'm getting this from Danny Johnson in her book, Grooming the Next Generation. Yeah? And she says that children are gems. Yes. We need to see them as gems. So whether she's named after your father-in-law who did not accept you, your mother-in-law who did not accept you, your sister and brother, this is a gem. Okay? And that's why she says about the temperament, and she says they are gems that need to be taken care of. You don't just take a necklace made of whatever gem, whatever it is, and you put it anywhere. There's a place, there's a closet. Liz, I believe there's a closet for your gems. You know? The necklaces, the earrings, we just don't put them anywhere. Yeah. We care for them. And it is the same way with our gems. The temperaments of our children. I am talking about the sapphire. The sapphires are so loud. So loud. These children, they are, if so and so is not in the house, unashindwa kwani yako wapi? Where are they? Kwani alienda wapi? Ako wapi? Unaambia wengine amekimbia pale nje because she's not in the house. He's not in the house. Because when he's in the house, when she's in the house, you will always know. There's so much noise in the house. Yeah. Number 2, sapphires are not very neat. Sapphires ni wale ukimpatia chakula kwa meza, kwa dining table. Ama amekulia pahali mchele imemwagika hapo. They are not very neat. The sapphires. But remember, it is a gem. Okay? Sapphires are not neat. Sapphires are, everything is, even in their bedroom, they wake up running. Okay? They wake up running and doing things out there. They want to go out there and play. Because that is their life. They are talkative and all that. Okay? So, even when you just need to teach them, okay, when it comes to grooming these ones, you just need to put them together. Ukikula, you do this and do that. And then make sure you teach them. You just don't let it go, of course. Okay? And then we say that sapphires are loving. They are loving. There are those girls or boys who will come and ask you, Mami, nini? What is happening? Yeah. The others are out there. They are doing their own things. But a sapphire will always come back to the house to ask you, Mami, are you okay? After playing and being so loud out there and being so untidy and everything else, if Mami is sick, a sapphire will always look out for them. A sapphire is so loving. A sapphire, even in your old age, they will always come to look for you. When the others are out there, the executives out there, the sapphire will always bring you a car shopping and tell you every other, even if not every month, because they are busy also, every other time, they'll look out for their parents. Sapphires look out for their parents when they grow up. So take care of them, even if they are messy, even if they are so loud in the house. Remember, it is a gem God has given you. The others are emeralds. Emeralds are the perfectionists. You have perfectionists in your house. They make very good administrators in future. They are very good accountants in future. They are very good in maths. And they are the ones who ask you, Mommy, you say, when the sapphire is just saying, tunaenda holiday, tunaenda kwa shosho, the sapphire will not bother to make sure that the things are put in the suitcases or in the bags or whatever. The emeralds will ask you, have you packed? Umepaka nguo ngapi kila mtu? Umenipakia ile, you know, or they are detailed. Don't brush them off. That is something they are building when they are young.
Yeah.
And when they grow up, they'll be so responsible. They become very good administrators in organizations when they grow up, the emeralds. And they make sure that because they are perfectionists, they make sure, even in the house, when you leave them in the house, the house will be neat. The house, they are not messy. And they quarrel a lot with the sapphires because the sapphires are so untidy. It is your responsibility, just the way we have talked about Jochebed, to make sure that the sapphire and the emeralds live well because they have different temperaments and they are totally different. This one is very detailed. This one is very neat, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
So for you as a parent, know how they'll live together. Well, remember we talked about Exodus 31. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and skills that you'll be able to match the two. The sapphire and the emeralds. Then we have the pearls. And you know the way we love pali things. The pearl, it is a precious gem. Now, the pearl, they are these ones who love loving. I mean, they are so loving. The sapphires are loving, but they are loving to their parents. Sana to their parents. But the pearls, they love doing community work. They love helping the children's homes. They love taking care of the people in the village. They know that cousin of theirs doesn't have clothes. So even when you buy a nice dress for them, or even they suggested, I want that dress. They love it. They're not giving out because they don't like it. They give out. They love giving. The pearls, they're so loving. They're not so detailed like the emeralds, but they're not messy. But they love working in the house, doing things, making sure the shoe rack is good, making sure the wardrobe or where the clothes are, what is it called? The closet. Their clothes are arranged nicely. They're not detailed like the emeralds. The emeralds will be busy doing other things, but the pearls also have a touch. They don't have the extremes of perfectionists, but they're also neat. They are neat and they're very cool. Hawana mohahe, what we call mohahe. They're not too loud like the sapphires. No, but they are there and they love helping. Their main point is helping others. Looking out, akina fulani hawananga nguo. And they'll make sure that they'll mobilize you to take clothes to their cousins out there in the village or in a children's home or in school. Yeah, especially in school, not necessarily in the village. They will know that child who doesn't carry food in the home in the school where they carry food, or a child who came in hungry, they will see it. They will spot and they'll come and tell you, mommy, so-and-so doesn't have a book. So-and-so doesn't have a pen or doesn't have a pencil. Their mommy cannot afford. The pearls will always identify them. Then the last ones, and not the least, I guess there are others, the rubies. The rubies are close to the sapphires. But for them, they are the ones who say, it is either my way or the highway. It is.
They are assertive.
Yes. It is all about me. The game is all about me. So even in school, they've got to be, ile tunasemanga niko fao. If I'm not number one, And as they grow up, you need to teach them on how to share. When something comes to the house, it is mine. When something is brought, whether a firstborn or a middle child or a lastborn, they have the traits za kujipenda. They are so selfish. The rubies are selfish. It is either my way or the highway. And let me tell you, when you do a research on the rubies, we are told they don't make very good wives. They don't know how to be humble. They don't know how to submit the rubies.
Ouch.
Because it is either my way
or the highway.
Or the highway. So even when the husband maybe brings a point, they may not take it so well. And they are not ready to submit to this authority. So we teach them when they are down there. If you see this trait as a mother, the trait of being a ruby, please arrest it early and teach early and pray about it early. All of them are to pray, especially the sapphires who are very, otherwise you'll be finding pampers on the doorway when they grow up. We are going to a home where you find the pampers on the doorway.
Mwiko. Mtoto alipoa mwiko acheze nayo na iko na ugali ile ya jana
iko kwa mlango.
Vikombe ako hapo kwa mlango.
Those are sapphires we need to work with them early. Okay? For the rubies, we need, especially for the girls. And then for the girls, they may not be very submissive. Yeah, they don't know. You know the way Ephesians chapter 5, wives submit to your husbands. Yo haingiangi. Then for the men, when they are like that, they become narcissists. The men become narcissists. That the woman has no say in the house. The woman cannot say anything because it is my way. Those are the men who go shopping clothes for their wives. And anua ile iko pretend it is in yellow na green. He doesn't care whether it is your color or not. Then in the house, you change the house arrangement. That is a ruby for you. That is a spirit you arrest when they are young. You will see it when they are small boys. Mtoto wa kujipenda. Mtoto anasemanga ni mimi. You will always know, you will see that trait. And parents, you need to arrest that. If you want to see responsible children, or rather when your children marry, you want to see your daughter submitting to their husbands, isn't it? And you don't want to see your son being a narcissist in their home. Anachapa mama, anachapa sijui nini, and sometimes si kuchapa ya kiboko, although kuna wale wanachapangwa, there are those who beat their wives. But you know, emotions.
Hata ya mdomo.
Ya mdomo. There may even be silence. You know, it is worse. Kneel by mouth. It is worse. You know, and that is a narcissist for you. That you cannot give an idea. You cannot, but it started when they were young. My point is, we need to know the traits of our children, the temperaments of our children when they are young. Yeah? Because they will grow with them. If it is not arrested early, it will show up when they are up, when they've grown up. I remember there is one in the village we said, Aija, by the way we used to see this when we were young. And we saw it. And today, iko evil. Because it was not arrested when they were young. Maybe lack of knowledge. At least when you can hear, you who is hearing me as a parent, please, let's arrest these things because they catch up with them when they are married, and there'll be trouble.
Yeah. Wow. Emerald, sapphire, pearls, or ruby. Check out your child. Get to know. Now we've given you the information and the dangers, the red flags of each one of them. And so you really need to be cautious. You really need to be hands-on. That's basically what we are saying as parents, that you have to be hands-on as you parent. Isi ile ya kuachia msichana, anakuja anakuambia jioni Shiro ako hivi, Karo. Sorry to say, they don't care as long as you pay them at the end of the month. And one exits, another one comes. They also have attitude towards your child. So you really cannot rely on what you're being told about your child. Your presence will matter to be able to control and to bring up a child who is holistic, who can fit well in society. If you're able to know whether they are emeralds, they are sapphires, they are pearls, or they are rubies, and act on each independently. Kwanza hii reference ya, uonangi vile Shiro anakuanga organized, Wanangi vile Karo anakuanga. Please, we discourage that from even what she's saying. Do not compare your children. Look at them differently, independently, and manage them accordingly. Wow, we have to land this plane. And I'm sure you have a word of wisdom that you can crown all what we have said in 2 minutes. Because we have handled a lot. Wakusoma naye tumesoma. What would be your closing remark?
I would say let's remember the pie and the pipers. They are out there. Number 2, the 4 things that we need, because we said there is no perfect parenting. There is no perfect parent. There's no perfect parent. The 4 things are needed: the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, and the skills that are needed for parenting. The other point is let every child run their race. Every child run their race. You have doctors there, you have business men there and women, you have secretaries, you have administrators, you have great prophets out there, great people, great preachers out there, everyone running their race. Don't compare. Number 2, don't leave your parenting cannot be delegated. House girls are not to be delegated. Don't delegate parenting roles to your house girls, to your sisters, or to your brothers. No, don't delegate. You've got to be there. And then remember, listen, 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 and listen. Diligently, 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 diligently. Those 2 words, don't forget them. That we've got to listen to what our children are telling us. We've got to listen and we've got to teach them diligently. And we have a prayer. And God will help us. There is no perfect parent at the end of the day. And remember, just like Miles Monroe says, that this is a relay and we've got to pass on the baton. Always ask yourself, how will I pass on the baton to my children? And remember, children are inheritance from the Lord. Yeah. And this is the only inheritance that you'll present to God on that day. God bless you.
Wow. There you have it. There you have it. My take home, listen. And after listening, listen. After listening, listen even more. Because if it matters to them, if it is an issue to them, then it is something worth your attention. Hata akiuliza kitu moja mara 5, ask for grace to be able to handle it well. Because then again, your reactions, your emotions, as you try to respond, they're also learning from them that, well, I am not sure adults are able to manage their emotions very well. So how are we responding? Even as we listen to our children. And remember, there are many voices screaming in the ears of our children. Social media, the piper she's talked about, and everything else screaming, and their peers also. Your voice has to be the loudest that they can pick from the crowd. God bless you. See you next time.